Right now, I'll go ahead with my small presentation on Indian patent ecosystem and discuss whether it really incentivizes inventions or the inventors. So, can we have the presentation on the? Okay, no problem. I'll discuss just like without the PowerPoint presentation. So, as we know, the society has three mechanisms for providing access to knowledge and technology. For example, we have the commons, then the anti-commons, that means royal privileges, and then we have the patent system, which is an intermediate between these two extreme systems, where the access to technologies is provided to the society in exchange for the exclusivity provided to the inventors or the patentees. So it's a give and take system, and the history of Indian patent system is not very old. Like it was post-independence, it was the patent law was consolidated, and post-TRIPS it underwent harmonization with the global patent system. And then there are some recent changes and attempts to improve the efficiency of the patent office and improve the infrastructure and the awareness about the patent system to various stakeholders are being undertaken. So the objective of the patent system designs is, decides its design. For example, the Section 83 says that, Section 83 of the Indian Patent Act says that the patent system should not, it should provide a balance of access and rights, patent rights, and it should balance the interest of the society. It should not lead to undue monopoly. It should lead to, public safeguarding of public health care, and so on and so forth. So it's a very big objective. And to contrast that with the US patent system objective, we'll say that taken from the Constitution, Section 1, Clause 8, that exclusivity will be provided to the inventors or the writers in exchange for the making it available to the public. So it's again also a give and take, but Indian system is, I think, more, it wants to achieve more social good. So in fact, the patent system looks like an unfair tug of war to me, because what inventor or the patentee gets is an exclusive right, but what he has to face, insurmountable obstacles are there in the form of patentability barriers, maybe objections, and even after the patent is granted, he has to overcome things, courts, litigation in courts for infringement, and things like that. So, and patent grant is never it's not a proof of validity or certificate of validity from the patent office. So it can be invalidated any time. So that is the cost the patentee has to bear in order to benefit from the creation that he creates. So that's a very big disadvantage. If we look at the other aspects of the ecosystem, that is the patent office, it has been accused of being very delays or inefficiencies. But there has been attempts to improve the functioning of patent office in the recent years. It has been attempted to make it on par with the global systems. So time only will tell, it's too early to tell that, okay, it is on par with the world, but still it's functioning very well despite its constraints. And if we take a look at the judiciary in India, that has probably, in my opinion, been the brightest spot in the ecosystem, because courts have elaborated on the various provisions of the law, like patentability, or what kind of rights should be balanced with the access to the technology, to the society. And not only that, courts have almost always favored with the patentees for expeditious grants or for giving a fair proceedings in the patent office. So there have been case laws from time to time in favor of the patentees. So I think courts have played a very big role. And if we see the other side, like the working environment of the patents, inventors, we find that there is no clarity about what rights an inventor should get. If we consider that 90% of the patents are, generated by employee inventors, then definitely there should be more clarity on this aspect. Then only we can say that yes, inventors will be, incentivized and they will produce more and more inventions. Moreover, some of the books like Kazuhide Odaki, that he has come up with a book which questions the very logic of why an inventor should be incentivized. Because 90% of the inventions come from employed inventors. The employee is taking all the risks and the costs associated with that. So why they should be incentivized? There is no need. It's up to them, but there is no need. So it's one book that I have come across, which I find surprisingly very, contrary to what we expect. Moreover, there is no, although the civil law countries require that inventors should be compensated. So it's not a question of only the moral rights, but the economic rights also. Whenever the patentee makes benefit from the inventions, he should compensate the inventor. Of course, the civil law countries, they have codified this provision, but in common law countries, it's not so. It depends on the employee and employer contract, what kind of compensation they can get. So I think it's a very sort of not so heartening situation in India that inventors don't get any benefit, exclusive benefit, rather benefit for generating patents or disclosing their inventions. And so that is a challenge. Another thing is, how can we basically measure? We can have an overview of the different parts of the ecosystem, but how should we measure the impact of inventions on an economy? So there have been a publication from USPTO, the economic impacts of patents. So which they have not only patents but other form of IP. They have identified which are the IP intensive sectors and what has been their contribution to the GDP, what has been their contribution to employment generation over the years. So I think that is a sort of initiative every common law country like India should take up. Not only from point of view of getting a snapshot, but also for guiding policy actions. So to conclude, what I'll say that there are many concerns in India regarding the patent ecosystem, including the pressure during trade deals. India is asked to improve its patent system from time to time, and to provide strong protection to inventors from maybe USA or Europe. So there has been some lot of pressure, even though I feel that it is a fair system, it's a young system, it has not been developed fully, but still evolving and young. With that, I conclude my thoughts.